It's GCNdex, and this game is not the fairest of them all.
Huh?
We haven't exactly had a great time so far with Disney games on the GameCube. Disney Sports Soccer tried pretty hard but ended up falling short in a market that was already saturated by soccer titles. Donald Duck Goin' Quackers was a broken platformer with a bad camera. Disney's Party, which we touched upon just recently, was a poorly executed party game. There's no real reason to hold out any hope, but maybe, just maybe, the Disney license will finally be put to good use in Disney's Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse. Originally announced as merely a Disney title alongside a handful of screenshots at Nintendo's 2001 Space World event, Magical Mirror was assumed to be a platformer in the vein of the Disney's Magical Quest series. These hopes were dashed, however, at the 2002 Electronic Entertainment Expo when it was revealed to be a point-and-click adventure game. There have been, of course, successful point-and-click adventure games before, but the GameCube was so devoid of platformers and had only seen one so far that could be called good, Super Mario Sunshine. So it's not surprising that people would be disappointed to discover just what Magical Mirror really was. Disney properties tend to be marketed for all ages to be able to enjoy, and Mickey Mouse in particular is one property that will be directed towards a younger audience. This is what made the darker Epic Mickey franchise so surprising in 2010. Mickey Mouse is usually cute, simple, and great for kids. That's exactly what we got out of Magical Mirror, an incredibly, frustratingly simple trip through a mansion led by a cursor and controlled by an analog stick. Our story begins with Mickey Mouse having a nightmare about getting trapped by a ghost on the other side of a mirror. The ghost then shatters the mirror and scatters the pieces across his mansion, trapping Mickey in the nightmare until he can restore the mirror and cross back into his dream. Gameplay is done entirely via an on-screen cursor, and Mickey will follow your instructions based on what you tell him to interact with. He has a variety of animations that he can perform depending on the object or task that's required of him, and after given a direction, a real-time cutscene will play of his actions. The cutscenes are painfully long, and even the biggest little Mickey Mouse fan in your house will get bored quickly. There's simply not enough going on to keep your attention. Not even the graphics can captivate for very long. Even though the general scenery of the mansion is executed well enough and fits the style of the game, the character model of Mickey is a major issue. Somehow, Capcom made the poor decision to give him slightly sunken eyes, making him look less like a beloved Disney mascot and more like a man that's wearing a poorly constructed Mickey Mouse costume, which makes me nervous to play this game with my son. Disney's Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse was poorly received by critics, but it did well enough to warrant a sequel, and we'll take a look at Disney's Hide and Sneak in episode 366. Until then, if you're considering Magical Mirror because, like me, you're expecting something like Castle of Illusion, do yourself a favor and avoid it like the plague. That is it for this week's episode of GCNdex. If you enjoy the videos every week, consider backing us on Patreon. Even $1 a month will do a lot to support the project and help improve the experience. It's entirely up to you. Either way, please continue to show your support by subscribing, sharing, following along on Twitter at GCNdex and at GCNdex.com. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time when we experience a console staple in Kiwame Mahjong DX2.